Hey guys, good morning to all. Today, Ashari Gupta, a student of BCom final year, would like to enrich your knowledge about monetary policy. After hearing policy, some students might think it's such a boring topic and some might get excited. But trust me, it's not that boring. So imagine what if there was no monetary policy or monetary authority. If it was not there, there would be no price stability, no financial stability, and no adequate availability of credit for the growth. Just think, if it was not there, the things which we can buy today as a middle class people, we couldn't buy that. As prices may be higher of daily need items and the situation might got worse. Whatever I have said, maybe half of my audience would agree with the fact and some might not. RBI or Reserve Bank of India, the Central Monetary Authority, made this policy in 1934. Before going further, I would like to quote something on monetary policy. That is, it is well said, when people of the nation do not understand a banking and monetary system, for if they did, I believe there would be a revolution before tomorrow's morning. Now let's come to the definition of monetary policy, what actually it does mean. Definition. According to D.C. Rome, monetary policy is defined as discretionary act undertaken by the authorities designed to influence supply of money, rate of interest, availability of money for achieving some specific objectives. Now let's get to the meaning of monetary policy. In actual, what monetary policy it is? It is an instrument with effect the credit flow in an economy. It refers to the use of instruments under the control of RBI to regulate the availability, cost, and use of money and credit. The major goal of monetary policy is achieving specific economic objectives such as low and stable inflation and promoting growth. Now let's get to objectives of monetary policy. There are many objectives like price stability, promote economic growth, promote employment, develop infrastructure, control business cycle, regulate money supply. These all points are interrelated. When there is price stability, it will lead to economic growth. Promote it will promote our employment. More people will get employment when there will be greater infrastructure or developed infrastructure. Business cycle would be controlled as there would be no recession, so deep recession or depression, these terms. And it will also lead to money supply. So, what price stability it is? Price stability it is the major objective of monetary policy to maintain price stability in a country. It implies control over inflation. Price level is affected by money supply. Monetary policy regulates the money supply to maintain price stability. Then, economic growth. Monetary policy makes available necessary supply of money and credit for the economic growth of the country. The sectors which are quite significant for the economic growth are provided with adequate availability of the credit. Then, promote employment. It leads to employment by providing concessional loans to small and medium entrepreneurs, special loans to unemployed youths. All these help to promote employment. Then, develop infrastructure. Monetary policy aims at developing infrastructure. It provides concessional funds for developing infrastructure. It controls business cycle. Boom and depression are the main phases of the business cycle. Monetary policy puts a check on boom and recession. In boom period, credit is contracted to reduce the money supply and thus check inflation. When the period is of depression, credit is expanded to increase the money supply. Then it regulates the money supply. Monetary policy is framed to regulate money supply by credit expansion and credit contraction. What do you mean by expansion? It is giving more of the loans and supply gets expanded. And what is credit contraction? It is giving less loans and basically contraction means when we have to reduce our supply, and expansion is when we want to increase our supply. It is done according to the need of the economy. Then it is the process of monetary policy formulation. Then let's get to the main topic, which is instruments of credit control under monetary policy. It basically instruments is divided into two parts, that is quantitative credit control and qualitative credit control. First, we will cover quantitative credit control, under which it is bank rate. Bank rate is the rate charged by the central bank for lending funds, commercial banks. Bank rates influence lending rates of commercial banks. Higher bank rate will translate to higher lending rates by the bank. When we, in order to curb the liquidity, the central bank resort to raising the bank rate and vice versa. The current bank rate is 4.25%. Second point, it is statutory liquidity ratio. Statutory liquidity ratio, or SLR, is the minimum percentage of deposit that a commercial bank has to maintain in form of liquid cash, gold, or other security. This is fixed by the RBI, and the current SLR rate is 18%. Then third point is open market operations. What is open market operations? It refers to central bank buying and selling of short-term treasury and other securities in the open market in order to influence the money supply, thus influencing short-term interest rates. Buying securities adds money to the system, making loans easier to obtain and interest rate decline. Reserve Bank has decided to conduct simultaneously purchase and sale of government securities under open market operations for an aggregate amount of rupees 10,000 crore. Then fourth point, cash reserve ratio. It is the amount of funds that bank have to maintain with the RBI. If the bank decides to increase the CRR, the amount available with the bank for the disposal comes down. The RBI uses the CRR to drain out excessive money from the system. Commercial banks are required to maintain an average cash balance which should not be less than 3% of the total net demand, and the current CRR is 4%. What is repo rate and reverse repo rate? Repo rate means interest rate given by the RBI on deposits made by the commercial banks. Increase in repo rate will contract the credit, as commercial banks will get funds from the RBI at higher rate of interest. Increase in reverse repo rate will contract credit, as commercial banks are more inclined to deposits fund to earn higher interest. So the current repo rate is 4% and reverse repo rate is 3.35%. Then multiple rate of interest. RBI fixes quotas for commercial banks. If commercial banks takes loan within this quota, they are charged interest according to repo rate. But if they borrow more than quota, then they are charged higher rate of interest. So that was about quantitative credit control, in which we have to cover some quantity or in number. Here it is qualitative credit control, and some points in this are: first is change in marginal requirement on loan. Marginal requirement, it refers to the difference between the current value of the security offered for loan, called collateral, which we keep as when we take a loan, and the value of loan granted. It is the adopted by the central bank in order to stabilize the economy from inflation or deflation. Then, moral persuasion. RBI convinces commercial banks to curb loan to unproductive sectors, rather give credit to priority sectors, that is agriculture, small industries, etc. Basically in this, they give more loans or more facilities to agriculture, small scale industries, so that our backward and the more crucial sectors can flourish. RBI has counseled banks to invest more and more in government securities and increase their liquidity. Then Credit Authorization Scheme. It was launched in 1965 and was withdrawn in 1989. Under the scheme, all selected commercial banks were advised to obtain the RBI's prior authorization before sanctioning any credit limit of rupees 1 crore or more than of a single party. Then it is credit monitoring. RBI monitors and synchronizes all sanctions of bank loan exceeding rupees 5 crore to any single party. In this, they basically monitor what how much loan they are sanctioning to bank or any other party, and then the loan amount should not exceed rupees 5 crore rupees. Then it is direct action. According to Banking Regulation Act 1949, RBI can stop any commercial bank from any type of transaction. It can stop giving loans and even recommend closure of member bank to central government under pressing circumstances. Then it is ceiling on loans. Ceiling on loans for single project from banking sector has been fixed at rupees 500 crore. Banks can sanction maximum loan of rupees 500 crore for a single project. Not more than 500 crores is allowed for a single project. Then come to some features of monetary policy. Seasonal variation. Policy changes according to busy and slack season. In busy season, demand is increased for funds on account of seasonal needs of financing, production, inventory building, and here RBI expands credit. On the other hand, when there is slack season, there is less demand of funds, and here RBI contracts credit. We can take an example of fruits also. Like when the summer is there, mangoes demand increases according to season. Whether when we buy in winter season, we don't get any demand. It's like that only. Then flexible nature. Monetary policy has a flexible nature. It has been changed according to the market conditions and requirements. Monetary policy changes when we require or something like that. When there is more requirement of funds, RBI follows liberal policy by lowering all the rates, and when inflation is high, RBI decreases supply of the money by adopting tight monetary policy. Controlled money supply. When RBI feels that more credit is required for the economic growth, then it expands credit. But when RBI feels that inflation is rising, then it restricts the credit. RBI controls money supply to achieve these contradictory objectives. Active policy. Before 1951, monetary policy was a passive policy. RBI did not use the measures of monetary policy to regulate availability of credit. By after 1951, RBI has been following an active monetary policy. It is using all the measures to control credit. Limitations of monetary policy. There can be many limitations as everything has positive and negative impact. Like it has limited scope, persuasive policy, lack banking facility, existence of black money, poor implementation, non-monetarized sector, undeveloped money market, conflicting objectives, and so on. So, first we come to limited scope. RBI have a very limited role as its function is only to see that process of economic development is not hindered for want of adequate funds. It has a very minor role. It has not such major role. RBI just have a very limited roles to perform. Second, persuasive policy. Qualitative instruments like loans for priority sector, loans for weaker section are only persuasive and not compulsive if banks do not consider these measures seriously. As everyone wants money, so banks also think they should give more priority to stronger section of the society rather than providing loans for weaker section as they have less chances that they would get the money back. Then lack banking facility. They are not available in some rural and remote areas of the country, so they cannot regulate credit in such area. So Ignatius Bank Igneous banks operate here which are not regulated by monetary policy. Then, existence of black money. Black money is not recorded as borrowers and leaders keep transaction secret. Government cannot regulate black money in accordance with objective of monetary policy and hence effectiveness is reduced of policy. Then, poor implementation. Banks do not cooperate with the RBI in implementing policy and it hinders the success of monetary policy. Then, non-monetized sector. Non-monetized transactions occur through barter system, reducing supply of money and interest rate determined by monetary policy have no effect on economy, thus reducing effectiveness of the monetary policy in some places. Then some key highlights. Key highlights of the RBI monetary policy announced on 4th June 2021. RBI keeps repo rate unchanged at 4%. Reverse repo rate also remains unchanged at 3.35%. CRR or cash reserve ratio will remain at 4%. MSF and bank rate remains unchanged at 4.25%. MPC sees CPI inflation at 5.1% in 2021-22. RBI cuts financial year 2022 GDP growth forecast to 9.5% from 10.5% earlier. RBI to buy rupees 40,000 crore of government securities on June 17. A separate liquidity window of rupees 15,000 crore for the hospitality sector. Retail inflation is likely to be 5% during the current fiscal. MPC has been given the mandate to maintain annual inflation at 4% until March 31, 2026. RBI to extend a special liquidity facility of rupees 16,000 crore to SIDBI for on lending and refinancing. Current trends in monetary policy. The Reserve Bank of India in its monetary policy meet decided to keep the key policy rates unchanged after two emergency rate cuts amid the COVID-19 disruptions and ensuring economic fallout. Consequently, the repo rate stands unchanged at 4% and reserve repo rate at 3.35%. This is the latest policy rates, which I have also discussed in the previous slide. So, conclusion of my monetary policies. Monetary policy deals with the functions of money supply in the money market, keeping this in mind that it should not cause the situation of inflation and recession. The RBI is the central authority of the monetary policy in India, which use different instruments to control the inflow and outflow of money. Monetary policy is very important for the economic growth of the country. Its instruments play a very vital role to adjust the economic conditions according to current situations. Thank you.